Where are we at? There. There's the boy. He's so big. I know I'm probably interrupting something,
no,
but
not
I
yet.
just
I'm
came
just
through.
about ready.
Where you at? You're not gonna look. Look up. Look up. Okay, now I'll take you back. For you.
Do you want, like, our big pad of it, right?
Well, see, I know those receiving blankets.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have. But it's okay, because I'm only 5 minutes away. I can always.
Yeah.
My daughter told me when I picked him up, I used the last diaper in the bag, and
Just hold him over the sink.
yeah, it
That'll
didn't
work.
enter my head. I completely, until I got here, completely forgot about it. And I'm borrowing this wire.
You don't even have to bring it back.
I was gonna say, and so I'll leave this wet towel.
Okay.
That's what's
I'll have a
borrowed.
thing for you tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey now. Is it 4 o'clock? Oh, goodness, it's 4 o'clock right on the nose. How is everybody? We got 4 o'clock. Hi, Zelda, you gonna come up? So, I'm so happy you're all with us. We're gonna have just a little bit of fun. I thought it's been a little while since I've been able to read stories to you all. So, hi everybody. So I thought, what better way than to read stories out of our book that we've just made, and maybe some other stories too that's not even in there. Hi everyone, and it's National Hot Pastrami Sandwich Day. I'm not sure if I like pastrami.
I think it's also National Chocolate Day.
It's a chocolate day.
Yes.
And it's also a Mountain Dew day. I'm sorry, you're going to probably see me take a drink of Mountain Dew. It's been a Mountain Dew month, actually. So don't scold me too bad. Thank you, MK. I appreciate that. Well, we're going to get started. What we're doing is, let me show you our progression here. Excuse me, girl. Where did it go? So, in 2014, we did a really fun day. We did Catapalooza, and that's where we read stories. I think, don't quote me on it, but I think we had like 150 something maybe, and it was all stories, past and present, of kiddies that were here at FFRC. And we had so much fun. We had a bunch of volunteers come in that day, and we all read the stories, and we have a picture of each one of those, and we just had a great time doing it. And it was suggested that maybe we could make a book out of that. So this was, yeah, these are books out and not on a box. This is the original copies of those 150 or whatever it was. Each one is plastic wrapped, and so that's why the book looks so big. And this is a treasure to me. This took a long time to do, and I loved it. And then what we did was we picked 100 stories with their pictures, and we then made 65 copies. And this was our first 65. This is one of the first 65. And we sold these out lickety-split. They just didn't last very long at all. Everyone has a picture of a story on the kitties and the picture itself. And in these there is, well, and then what we did after this, excuse me honey, Kathy, just me, and Beth, Eagle Watcher, were kind enough to get us that one little machine doojicky thing that puts the spiral bound on it. So we've gone from my big book to the notebook to this, minus the pages. So this is what now our 100 books are. We made 100 books of the 100 stories. And the categories is CH, residents, Porchies, Covies, adopted, and those that have passed. So we are selling these. They're $25, and this is what you get. And just like this, and they're forever keepsakes. And these have taken a lot of time, but it's done with a lot of love. We have all had so much fun making these and putting them together, and it's just been a real treasure. It's been fun to have this. So if you're interested in this, all you have to do is send me an email, $25, or send me a check. But whether it's a check or make it out to FFRC, whether it's a check or through PayPal, just make a note on there that is for the 100 stories. And then we will get these out. We have all 100 of these stacked. And it scares me when I go in the mailroom because I see all these stacks of papers. I keep thinking, oh my gosh, sea turtle, don't you get on those. And because she can get on the table, but Jonesy can't. What we're doing now is putting these on them. And we've got probably 30 of them done already. So we will get the orders out ASAP. But I wanted to have some fun with you folks. I've read some of these before. Thank you, Daisy. And I just wanted to spend a little time with you all and read some more of these to you, and to maybe share some of these other fun things that I have gotten over the years. And the reason is because this is so true. It takes a village to help the homeless cats. And you all are part of that village. To me, you guys are all as important out there as what it takes for the people in here to run it. And this was another sign that Mary Braid made for me that I just really love. Live, love, rescue. And I keep this on the refrigerator. You probably have all seen that already. The reason that these stories are kind of fun to do is the transformation that some of these kitties do. And this is one of my favorites. Whoop, I guess I taped it in there. I did, me and my silly tape. So you're going to have to bear with a little bit of shine. The transformation that some of these cats do is quite astounding to me. This was, many of you know that kitty. That was Twinkle when she first came in. She just looked so sad and so thin, kind of lost. And then this is what Twinkle looked like in her prime here. She was not with us for a real long amount of time, but this is what we like to see, the transformation that these kitties have. The befores and the afters, and what it takes to get them there. A lot of it is just good old love and care. Oh, I love that, Twinkle. So I really kind of had wanted to start this out by showing you this also. The FFRC nation, many countries, one heart, one mission, and one nation. And I absolutely love that, how many of you refer to all of us as the FFRC nation. We are made up of many countries, but one heart and one mission, and that makes us all one nation. And I have always just loved this. And this book is dedicated to the members of the FFRC nation because we are heart and soul. And maybe we'll take a little break in here and read some of this as well. So I'm just going to randomly pick some, okay? I'm just going to kind of go down the line and pick some. The first one is CH, and we'll start with Jersey. And this is similar to what each page looks like. The pictures are really, really nice. The definition on them is very nice. And I hope we've gotten... Oh, you know what? The first 65, I do have to tell you, there is a boo-boo. There's a picture that's wrong. That's corrected in the next 100 ones. No, thank you all. This is Jersey. This cat is not the same cat that came to us. Where fear once ran deep in him, he now enjoys his world. Mary and Jersey came together to FFRC from Long Island, New York. Jackie went to retrieve them. Both cats were victims of a hoarder situation. A wonderful person named Mary, M-A-R-Y, stepped up and rescued them, and then asked for help for these two particular cats. They had lived in a basement in cages until the human Mary stepped in. An overnight stay on the way home meant that Mary, M-E-R-R-I, the cat, and Jersey had to spend the night in the bathroom, but it was made very cozy for them. The reason for this is that they didn't know me yet, and I was staying in a hotel overnight to get us partway home. And I did have them both on the bed with me, but I could tell they were very out of their comfort zone. Being in a hoarding situation leaves some cats with kind of some very big worries about what the world is about. So because they were both CH kitties, I had the bathroom well padded and kept them safe in there. Mary was amazing and knew that Jersey was so scared. She spent much of the night hunkered over Jersey, protecting him. You could see him relax with Mary so close. This went on the first week of arrival to FFRC, Mary being the protector. As Jersey became a little braver, Mary let up on her job. Jackie had said that her one wish for Jersey would be for him to be comfortable enough to play and walk with his tail up, and he now does that. What a joy to see. At first it would be only in the quiet nighttime, but now even during the day he will come out. He loves chicken, for sure, and his snackers. It's delightful to see him out and about. Jersey now lives in Little Jonah's playground, or the house that Jonah built, with his CH friends Jackson and August. So if you remember right, Jersey and Mary came together, and I will never forget that night there in the bathroom. They weren't too sure of me yet because they didn't know me yet, but they were not frantic with me. But I could see that there was something really sweet going on between the two of them. And Jersey had went into the corner underneath the sink to sleep. And he was just trembling. He was so scared. And Mary went over. She stood over him, kind of sprawled-eagled, and then she laid down on him. And that's how they slept all night long. I checked on him numerous times. And she just took care of him and really helped him. Jersey had it pretty rough. Mary came around a lot quicker. And as you know, Mary is still up here, and Jersey is out there. Yeah, she started to let go. I saw Jersey this morning. He's out. In the mornings after I feed breakfast in here, then I make my way out to the Porchies, the Firehouse Cats, and the Covies. And the Barneys are mixed up in there too now. And Jersey is out and about, and he knows when I have chicken snackers for them or the freeze-dried little goodies. He loves those, and he's right there, ready for his little snacker. So he's just really cool. His date of birth is July 4th, 2008. And we'll do another, well, let's do Mary. We'll do Mary. And this is our beautiful Mary girl. Mary. Her birthday is April 4th, 2007, and they arrived here July 13th, 2013. This is an amazing cat. Mary and Jersey came together to FFRC from Long Island, New York. And some of this is definitely duplicated. Both cats were victims of a hoarder situation. A wonderful person named Mary stepped up and rescued them and then asked for help for these two cats. Our Mary is spelled M-E-R-R-I. They had lived in a basement in cages until the human Mary stepped in. And then it just goes on about the same story as Jersey. She loves her snackers. She may not like to get her ears cleaned or her nails trimmed, but that's okay. She is so proud of herself when she is able to climb up the Coranda Towers. You can see it in her face. And Mary does not like to have her ears cleaned, and Mary does not like to have her nails trimmed. And you will hear her when we do it. She will yowl and holler at us, but then she forgives us again. And her very best person in the whole wide world is our Elizabeth. She loves her very much. Now, she's kind of been letting some other volunteers kind of take that place a little bit, but nobody will ever be like what Elizabeth is to Mary. Elizabeth can walk in here, and just like that, Mary will find her. How about Vernon? We'll do Vernon. This is Vernon when he was a baby. He was a baby. Says, this silvery gray tiger boy has stolen our hearts. He was a kitten with CH. He was found on a road in Henry County all by himself. Now, how does a baby at 6 weeks old with CH get in a position like that anyway? He wobbled his way right into our hearts. He is a moderate CH with all 4 legs affected and a slight head wobble. Nothing slows this boy down though. He chases the other kittens and laser lights and the cats. Vernon has a chronic upper respiratory infection, although at this point our vets say he's not contagious. It will probably be something he will have to deal with his entire life, and we still have to watch that on Vernon. He takes his nose drops like a pro, and DeRachel has taught him the love of chicken. Rustle that chicken bag and Vernon will pop out wherever he is and come a-running. At meal preparation time, you would think there is a lion bellowing for his food, but it's merely Vernon with his persistent meow, letting us all know that he is hungry again. His birthday is June 14, 2014. Now, Vernon, in the mornings, I know he's quiet. He spends the night in Dodger's pen. We just put him in there, and he sleeps soundly, and he likes that pen. And we give him his food in there to make sure he's eating good, because he's a little thin. But when I come out here in the mornings and I'm quiet and don't say anything at first, he's very quiet. As soon as he knows it's feeding time, he does, then that's when he does his little meow, 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 just a real soft little meow. And that's his, I'm ready to come out of this pen. And he's taken to climbing up, as you all know, climbing up our legs now. And then he likes to come up here, and given the chance, he will even droop around your shoulders. And he sure loves to just stay like that. But look how tiny he was. All right, we will do a resident. You okay?
Yeah. A little wet and colorful.
How about Coralie? Yeah, he does his uppies. He comes over and tap, tap, taps. Uppies, uppies. Coralie was born June 12th, 2012. And she arrived here January 8, 2014. Remember, it was in the dead of winter, and it was a bad winter that year. No cat should ever go through what she has been through. Our winter was very cold and snowy. She found her way to a lady's back porch. That's all the further she could go. This lady found her laying on her side, stiff, covered in ice and snow. It was thought that she was dead. Then a breath was taken, and this lady whisked her in the house and dried her with warmed-up towels from the dryer. The next day, Coralie was brought to FFRC. Many parts of her was frostbitten: her ears, her tail, her toes on all 4 feet, her rear ankles, and her chin. It was so sad, but Coralie purred. We began the trip to get her better. First, her ear flaps had to be removed. Many of her toes, both back and front, had to be removed, and also her tail. These parts were not able to be saved. In a few more weeks, it was realized that her ankles were not going to heal. They were causing great pain, and a fix was not possible. Her first rear leg was removed. Shortly after that, her second rear leg was removed. Now we have a short-tailed, short-eared cat with no rear legs. What were we to do? As always, we let the cats decide. Coralie decided she'd love life and was going to go on living. We feel her ears are cute, her chin healed just fine, and she can go wherever and whenever she wants to, anytime, in the rescue center. She has survived and seems happy. Just watching her play brings a smile to us. Coralie was most definitely one of our very first cats that had to have so many surgeries. We tried and tried and tried to save her legs. I ran across some pictures of her a few weeks ago, and I was amazed at, after time goes by a little, you kind of forget how bad things were, kind of like Gallant. And I remember we tried so hard to save those legs, her back legs, and they just weren't to be. And when I talked to Dr. Darcy about it, and she was here then, we had decided that there was no saving those legs. And I was in such torment for a while, because it's like, how can we do this to her and ask her to be the cat that she wants to be? And after, it probably took me a week to come to an okayness about it within myself, and I never regretted it. And that's why with Trucker and Magic, that we were able to do that for them, knowing, because of Coralie, that it was going to be okay. And okay she is. She's a little heavier than what she should be. As many of you know, she has lost some weight, and she has not regained all that weight back. We've still got it down to 2 snackers at a time. All of us kind of fail a little at that once in a while. But what a sweetie she is. And I love it in the mornings after breakfast. She always likes to go in her cupboard, and she has that certain look like, okay, it's cupboard time. And she goes over there, and she can't get up into the cupboard by herself. So she always goes over, and I always say, well, boost you up, and there, give her a little bottom boost. And then she goes, and she's so happy to be in there. So she's okay. She's okay. And she is the cat she was meant to be. Yep. The lady that rescued her, she has come, now I haven't seen her for maybe half a year maybe, but she was coming every once in a while to see Coralie. And I always told her that I was so grateful that she brought her. A lot of you may not know the story of Cutie, because she's been here for so long. So let me read Cutie's story. This is Cutie. Now Cutie is getting to be kind of an oldster girl. and she's very happy. As you know, her very, 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 very favorite thing in the whole world is a lap. She loves a lap. She was born July 2nd, 2016, and she came here July 26th, she was born July 2nd, 2006, and she arrived here July 26th, '06, so she was just a baby. Our dear sweet cutie was only 3 weeks old when she arrived. A volunteer, Martha M., not Martha L., but Martha M., found her all by herself. No mama, no siblings, not even big enough to walk. She was unable to survive on her own. She had a cutarebra right on top of her head. A cutarebra is a larva of a large fly. The adult fly lays eggs on grass stems, and when an animal rubs on it, they become attached, usually around the neck and the head of an animal. The larva attaches and migrates and burrows under the skin. The larva forms a breathing hole, and that's what is generally seen by people. Cutie had a cutarebra that had to be removed. It turned out that this particular wound caused neurological problems for Cutie. She wobbles a bit when she walks. When she runs, though, she does pretty well and can go in a straight line. She is just amazing. Cutie is also a lap cat. Nothing is better in this world to her than a lap. She will climb up, hunker down, and stay there as long as you have time. She also has a job at FFRC. She is a foster mama to the kittens. She loves little ones and will give them baths, top to bottom, until they pass her inspection. Nice for Cutie and great for the kittens. She loves everything and is a gentle sort of a cat. Volunteer Greg has always loved Cutie. She even follows him. Greg officially adopted Cutie, but she stays at FFRC. This is her forever home. And you know, just a couple days ago, Cutie was in the back closet. She goes there sometimes during breakfast time, and that's a lot of times. So she's still our sweet, sweet cutie girl. How about Farah? We'll do Farah. You can always tell Farah by her eyes. Her birthday is May 16, 2009. She arrived here June 27, 2009. White, a little ball of white fluff when she first arrived. Farah was found in the woods by herself when she was just 7 weeks old. A woman found her and named her. Farah is a permanent resident. When she was a little kitten, she was given certain medications that just happened to have caused a severe reaction. Medicines are wonderful, and they have their place and role in rescue. But as with any medicine, cats can have reactions just like humans. This reaction caused her to have a seizure that lasted for a whole day. We were unable to get it stopped for way too long. Hence, she is now classified as a seizure cat. For the first 2 years, her meds were changed every once in a while, trying to find the correct dose to keep the seizures at bay. We have finally reached that goal. She gets a full pill in the morning and a full pill in the evening. Many times when it's pill time and she hears the rattle of the pill bottle, she takes off. She usually doesn't go too far and then will peek at us to see if we have found her. It has been, at this time, 2 years since she has had a seizure. Farah is a shoulder rider, especially in the mornings. Her purr can be so loud that at times it can be heard on the cam. And she still has not had a seizure, but we will not mess with her meds. Her seizures, when she would have them, many of them were very, very hard. And it's something now that she has been so stabilized for so long that we won't mess with those. Oh, why don't we do Pania? Pania. Pania. Pania was born April 12, 2012, and she arrived here November 19, 2012. What a gorgeous Siamese. She was named for a sea maiden in New Zealand mythology, which is the subject of a famous statue called Pania of the Reef. She was found by someone who realized her eyes were a problem and so brought her to FFRC. To realize that she was outside by herself with her eye condition saddened us. Our Pania was blind. She arrived here with two very bulging eyes. We felt she might have had a little sight when she first arrived, but as time went on, we realized things progressed in the damage to her eyes. Her right eye became much more swollen to the extent that it had to be removed. She still has her left eye, although there is no sight in it. But that sure doesn't matter to Pania. She goes wherever she wants. Yes, she may bump into things once in a while, but that doesn't stop her. She even can climb up high. Pania loves people, loves to be petted and fussed over. She also answers to her name. When you want Pania, you just say her name in a sing-song way, and she usually will meow and answer. That's the Pania. And she has an Auntie Napa who loves her very, very much. Let me stop here a minute, and I'd really like to share this book a little bit with you. I'm going to scoot up a little bit. This was a book given to me that I just have always loved. All of these things I save. And do you remember a few years ago, Diana from South America had asked all you folks to do thank yous and letters to me, and she presented them all to me. I have all of those, and I just treasure all of that. People cry not because they are weak, but because they have been strong for too long. Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising up every time we fail. This is like a rescue words. Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you. These pictures were all taken by one of our webcammers. Oh goodness, I meant to get that name. Oh, Marilyn S. in Florida. She took all of these. Instead of asking why, ask why not. Forget what is gone, appreciate what remains, look forward to what is coming. People who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do. Don't be afraid of change. You may lose something good, but you may gain something better. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. I am who I am. Your approval is not needed. Every life matters. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Love, see the shells? Love is all you need. Our hearts will always lead you. This was something I had said that she caught. Our hearts will always lead us. And these were taken by Marilyn S. in Florida. Yeah, does the sand drawings, yes. Yes, I love that. Okay, and so then our next, I'm just skipping quite a few. Our next one is the Porchies, or the Porchy babies. Some of the nicest kitties anywhere. Cliff. Cliff, another wonderful Porchy cat. Well, first, he was born June 6, 2008, and he arrived here June 18, 2009. And can you see his lip? He's one of the few cats we've had here that's had a cleft lip. Another wonderful Porchy cat. Cliff belonged to a lady since he was a little kitten. When he was 1 year old, his owner passed away. We were asked if we would take him, but he had always been a fairly shy outside cat. We said yes, we would be happy to have him. Cliff is extra special because he has a cleft palate. Most of the cleft palate is in his upper lip, with an extension to the outside of his mouth. But he has absolutely no trouble with it at all. When he first arrived, he was not happy. We kept him inside the sun porch for a couple days to help him know where his home was. When he was free to come out, I remember this, he took off. We were so afraid that he was gone for good, but about a week later, here he comes. Cliff was ready to join the Porchy family, and he has never left since. He's now 8 years old, so now he's 10. A little shy, but when he's ready to be petted, he enjoys it, and he never misses a meal. He's there every single morning when I do their breakfast, and when we have our table out there right outside the back door for visitors and all of us to sit around, he will come up now and ask to be petted. He's just such a sweetie. This is a good friend of mine's, one of her very favorite kitties, Fabio. Oh, I just love him. He came here like, oh, I'm going to take on the world. And he's really just a big old fluffy baby. His birthday is October 15th, 2007, and he arrived here the winter of 2009. The fabulous Fabio. He's such a handsome Porchy. He's the only long-haired Porchy in the group at that time, and now we have Caesar, who is also long hair. He was just wandering around on the farmyard in the winter of 2009 at 2 years of age. We wanted to bring him into Earth Angels, our low-cost spay-neuter clinic, to take care of matters for him, if you know what I mean. Well, that rascal wouldn't let us anywhere near him, so out came the trap. The next morning, there he was, sitting in the trap, looking relaxed and wanted food. He was so cute. I still remember him sitting there like, okay, somebody come and get me out of here. So he was brought into the clinic, got the business of removing his Tic Tacs over, fed him, and then let him back out on the farmyard. He decided, no, I don't want to be a farm cat. I'd rather be a Porchy, and a friendly Porchy at that. No more worries. He was just a friendly fella after all. He loves to stroll around the barns, though, and visit. Sometimes Fabio is a little wild, but generally he's a sweetie. Dr. Cindy, who was our low-cost spay-neuter clinic's vet, named him Fabio because of the way his wavy fur would flounce around his head and chest, and what a ham he is. You can always tell Fabio his left ear has a little kink in it from before we got him. He must have had a little ear hematoma there. He's such a sweetie pie. He tries to act all big and bad sometimes, and he's nothing but a big baby. Oh, this is my sweetie. I love him. This is Mew. He's another Porchy. I worry about Mew. This winter's been a little harder on him, and he's such a gentle boy. He's getting older. A Porchy for 10 years already since his first appearance on the farmyard. His name is Mew because for 4 days that's all he did. Mew, mew, mew. He'd come up to us but would not let us pick him up. What a tease he was, because once he decided we were okay people, he was putty in our hands. He's starting to show his age a bit, but he never misses a meal. He's always been healthy and happy. He's another Porchy that loves visitors. Visitors mean lots more petting, and they never get tired of that. A truly lovely cat. If I thought he would be happy in here, I would bring him in. But the porch is his life. He loves it. He's got his warm beds in there. He's got his friends in there. And and he's just a cool cat. He's a lot thinner than what he is here, and his eyes have changed. He knows every time I come out of my mom's house, which is many times a day, he's there because he gets a big old belly rub. Yeah, he's a cool cat. Look who used to be a Porchy, Shambali. This is my mom's cat now. Shambali's birthday is Christmas, December 25th, 2012. Shambali was born on Christmas Day 2012 and came to FFRC November 2013. A family found him all by himself. They decided they'd like to have him and did keep him for 5 to 6 weeks. But then the dreaded hit by car happened. He was hit by a car. They weren't able to take him to the vet, so he was brought here. Nothing life-threatening, but many bumps, cuts, bruises, and lacerations. His right hip area had a large area that was open and no skin left to cover it. After cleaning and shaving this area, it was decided it would heal and slowly fill in. He also had a right front leg that was obviously fractured. This required x-rays and a surgery to pin it. Surgery was successful and the pin was pulled 6 weeks later, and he doesn't even have a tiny limp. Way to go to our vets. He also had almost every single toe bloody and open. I remember that. It was like he was drugged. Would be interesting to know how this happened. But now all is healed, all is well in Shambali's world, and he is a happy cat. And he is a very happy cat now because he is solidly in my mom's house, and she loves him with a passion. Well, we're going to move on to the Covies, and I'm just randomly picking some, as you know. Oh, Lily. Lily, she is a let me show you her beautiful picture. Yeah, Shambali went to Mom's her sliding glass door one day, and I had asked Mom when she first moved in, would you like to have a kitty? And she said no, she didn't think she wanted to, so I didn't pursue it. Oh, he has not been weighed lately, and I'd be afraid to. I'd be scared too. So one day Mom and I were sitting out in our sun porch where the patio door is, and he come up and was looking in at us. And I opened it up just a little bit to get my arm out and was petting him, and then I shut the door. And Mom says, well, why don't you leave him in? And I looked at her like, what is going on here? You said you didn't want a kitty. So, of course, the obedient daughter, I opened the door, and he came in, shut the door, and he's never left since then. That he was there to stay. Within the day, we had a litter box, food, water, everything for him. Yeah. So Lily, she is a racer girl, and that's because she came from a horse track in Toledo. She arrived here 9 years ago when she was just 1 year old. So Lily is also our older girl. Our spay-neuter clinic vet also worked hours at the racetrack with the horses. She kept seeing this beautiful Tory cat and told us about her. The next time the vet was here, she expressed her concern because Lily almost got trampled twice the evening before by two different horses. So we thought we should take her in for safety. She was used to being an outside cat, so she became a Covey. She's a lover bug. She's a pretty tortie with half of her face in gold. She lives out in Little Jonah's playground and is always willing to be petted. You know, some of our Covey cats are starting to get up there in age, aren't they? How about Oliver? Oliver. I'm always singing to him. Oliver. He's our, let me make sure that's still right. He's our only long-haired cat in the Cove. He was born in 2007, and he arrived here in 2009. Oliver is a Covey, and the only long-haired Covey that we have. He's a bit of an ornery boy and doesn't particularly at all like to be groomed. We occasionally do a major overhaul and do a grooming from nose to tail. Oliver arrived when he was 2 years old in 2009. He weighed almost 13 pounds, but looks much bigger because of his very long fur. When he arrived, he came with big bite wounds and a big ugly sore on his hiney. So we knew he wasn't a fighter, since he must have been bitten running away. He came to our property in good faith of finding a home, and he did. He's a happy boy and loves the sunshine. His favorite thing is to cautiously stalk the guinea hens. That's when he was out on the playground, or out on the farmyard. There's about a chance in a trillion he's ever going to catch one. They're super fast, and that just makes him run and exhaust himself. You'd think he'd learn. He also loves to roll in the sun, a big fluffy boy that we are glad to have. He's a good boy, but he does not like to be groomed at all. Ah, Savon. This is Canton Cat's favorite kitty. Savon. And this is also another favorite of Greg's. Savon was born January 15th, 2003, so she's getting up there too. She arrived here January 10, 2004. Savon, of course, is a Covey. She came to us in 2004 as a 1-year-old, which makes her 13 years old now, so that was 2 years ago. Savon was declared not needed and was put out. The neighbor picked her up and took her over to Dr. Pettigrew's office in Bryan. Savon declares herself boss of the Coveys. She barely recognizes Anani as the mayor. Yeah, she has a birthday tomorrow. When Savon arrived, she was a skinny mini. Oh, not anymore. She was so worried about the lack of food when she was outside that she has stocked up. Our skinny mini has turned into a 17-pound cat. But as she says, it's not all chunk. She's just big-boned, and for one, I do believe her. Her very favorite toy in the world is playing with a tracker round toy, and she still loves that thing. She lays there and bats that ball around and around and around. I do believe she calls that exercise. Her other favorite thing is to lay in the sun on the cement sidewalk, her back legs stretched way out in the back. Savon loves to be petted, and we're so happy to have her as a Covey. You know, every day when I go out there to make their breakfast, we have a couple of those tracker balls toys inside the house that Jonah built, and the entire time I'm dishing out all their plates. That ball's going around and around and around, and sometimes I'll say, Savon. She looks up at me, and then she goes around and around. Yeah, she doesn't move around with the ball. She just bats it around. Yeah, that's her exercise. These are some adopted cats. That's the next one, and I'm just going to pick a few. Oh, this is Berta, who is Sophie Marie, who is Sherry's cat, who she loves. This was an extra special, sweet, and adorable litter of kittens. A family was aware of the litter, but said the neighbor Rottweiler dog was trying to kill them. So she brought the litter to us. There was Berta, Berto, Tito's, Tilly Toes, and Tippy Toes, all named toe names due to their white feet. Gorgeous kitties. They were 6 weeks old upon arrival. They were all good little eaters who really enjoyed playing. When a nasty virus took hold of the litter, we actually lost one of them. Berta was also affected, but was a big fighter. At this time, Sherry, our volunteer, fell for her. Sherry came almost every day, sometimes twice a day, to visit her little kitty. She had to wait until she was big enough to spay to take her home, and we had to wait until she was well enough. Berta pulled through with flying colors, as did the rest of the litter. We've seen pictures of this litter, and they are real beauties. Her real name now is Princess Sophie Marie. She's a very unique cat. She goes for walks on harnesses with her mom, and she is also one cat who thoroughly enjoys dressing up. Pretty sure that's a smile on her face. So this little kitten went from possibly losing her life from a dog to a life of much love and high fashion. Yeah, her brother is Maxwell. How'd you guys do?
I'm fine.
Good?
Good.
Successful?
Yes.
Here's Clark. Clark was adopted by Pat and Vicky. He was born August 21, 2013 and adopted December 1, 2013. Remember Clark? He's so cute. Clark is the cutest white kitten with definite black dots. He arrived here at FFRC when he was 12 hours old. His mama is Viola. She had lots of brothers and only one sister. His sister was Camilla. Her 4 brothers were Carlin, Cashel, Clayton, and Callan. A really nice bunch of kitties. When a kitten is born here, they have their mama to take care of them, but they also have many humans to love on them. Yeah, he was the polka-dotted boy. So they have the good of both worlds, which makes for well-mannered, big sweetie kitties. They always fit in so well to a new home. Clark must have had hidden wings, as he was always seemed like he was airborne. How that boy loved to run and jump. We always said one of Clark's black buttons was his on and off button, but I think most of the time he was always on, ready for action, ready for playtime, and always ready to eat. He was adopted the 1st of December 2013. Soon after adoption, we heard he was doing great and he was climbing on their catwalks. So now he's back in Defiance with Pat and Vicky. Oh, we should do Dolly-Anna. Ooh, God bless you.
God bless you.
We should do Dolly-Anna. One of the beautiful Persians that was brought here. Her birthday is April 15, 2011. She arrived here May 18, 2012, and was adopted June 10, 2012. What a beautiful muted calico Persian she was. But when Dolly-Anna arrived, she was shaved very short. She was only a year old, but came from a Persian breeder that was done with her. So sad. Sometimes in catteries, Persians, if used for breeding and done with the show circuit, are kept shaved so they don't have to be groomed. Before breeding, they have to prove themselves, and so are shown, like in those shows that they have, to gather their points. Many of these cats from the cattery are nationally and internationally known in the Persian world, as was Dolly-Anna. She wasn't being productive as a mama, so she wasn't needed. Plain and simple. We were asked if we would take Dolly-Anna. We were happy to and scheduled her for a spay. After her recovery, she proved to be a bit of a clown. It didn't take her long to love being out and about. She was used to cage life, but no more of that. She loved playing. She sure seemed to enjoy this kind of life. No cages, toys galore, and lots of petting. When Dolly-Anna entered the main room area, she came in at full speed, straight to the toys. What a joy to watch her. Her fur started to grow back. Then we received a message from our good friend Deb 11111. She would like to adopt Dolly-Anna. That would be an awesome home for her, of course. We said yes. Deb is from Minnesota, and she made the long drive here to FFRC and adopted her on June 10th, 2012. She is doing awesome and looks stunning. Deb has given her a home that more than makes up for the way her life was at the beginning, and now there is nothing but good times. Heartfelt thanks to Deb for providing her such a home. She's a beautiful girl.
I'm shoving off.
You shoving off?
I'm shoving off.
All right, thank you for...
Yep. I put cans in your
Okay.
can thing.
All right,
Who is that?
that's Pippi.
Oh my goodness, she is a beauty.
I love her
She's rubbing all
so
over my
very
face
much.
and bumping heads.
She's an awesome cat.
Yes, she is. Wow.
Here she comes. She's a mild CH.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's beautiful.
Yep.
See you guys from the other side. We'll have to go get Kentucky Fried Chicken for Mom.
That sounds kind of good.
See you in
Be
a couple
piece for
weeks.
me. Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Thank you, Jem.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We have to read we have to read Jem's story. We have to read Gallant's story. Oh, Gallant. Remember our Gallant? He was born February 7th, 2012. He arrived here December 20th, 2012, and he was adopted June 25, 2013. Talk about a boy that has us all wrapped around his heart. That would be Gallant. Gallant arrived when he was a youngster of 10 months old. He had been hanging out at an apartment complex where several people there would feed him. He was always in a very certain routine. Visit this person at a certain time, go to another person, and so on. When one of the apartment people didn't see Gallant to feed him, they knew something was very wrong. He would never miss a meal. So they went looking for him, and sure enough, he was in the corner of a door entrance, all huddled up. When they picked him up, they realized someone had burned him very badly. They got a blanket, wrapped it around him, and brought him to FFRC. We've seen many burned cats, but this was one of the worst. His genitals, his whole backside, and both upper legs were severely burned. A long haul of treatment began. For many weeks, he quietly tolerated twice-a-day scrubs of his burns. 4 to 5 times a day we slathered on special ointment. His whole bottom area was burned so badly that it was hard to tell at first if we had a he or a she. As each week went by, the wounds were smaller and smaller. His personality just shined and got bigger. Gallant has the biggest heart, so much love for everyone. He was such a pleasure to have here. We all loved him by this time. In February, 2 months after arrival, things were going smoothly, but our vets advised to change his treatment by adding insulin into his treatment, into the ointment. This had been shown to have good results, so we continued his treatments. In May, we were becoming concerned, though. All areas healed so beautifully except that one area on his hip. We could just not get that to skin over. So in June, we went to surgery and had reconstruction of the remaining site. The vets did a beautiful job. By the time we had a home lined up for Gallant, our friends Billy, Pogo, and Bonnie spoke up for Gallant and put their dibs in on him. We had to wait until the sutures were removed. Once that happened, Billy and Bonnie came from Virginia and officially became his family. We've seen lots of pictures of him and on his Facebook, and he is a truly happy cat. This special boy will always own a spot in our hearts. Yeah. He was an awesome cat, wasn't he? Oh my goodness. Let's do Juby. This is also adopted by one of our webcam friends, Wicked Wings. This is a very special, rewarding rescue story. We had gotten a phone call from a person who was very upset about the condition of a kitten in a cage. She said this kitten had lived for a couple of months in a very small, dirty pen that was placed alongside the house in the weeds. And these weeds were tall. They were overgrown. You could barely see his pen. Jimmy and Jackie decided to go over and check it out. Upon finding this kitten, indeed, as the lady said, in a small cage tucked back in the weeds, we approached the owner. After some talking, he agreed to relinquish the kitten. To put it simply, this kitten was living in a small pen in horrible filth. The only food that was there was soggy bread. There was no water, and a collar was on him that was way too tight. He was on a small spot. It was a small piece of cardboard, about 8 inches by 8 inches, that this kitten managed to keep clean to sleep on. It completely broke our hearts. We named him Juby for jubilation. Juby was 7 months old, but weighed only 407 pounds. He received a double bubble bath just to get clean and get rid of the fleas. Juby's personality started to shine. You would think that a cat that was forced to live like he did would be withdrawn, scared, or afraid, but not Juby. He was ready to have some fun. He loved the toys, he loved to run, and he loved to be petted. He just gulped down everything. He was pure joy to see him experiencing a life that was fun for a cat. Then we received a message from Dania, Wicked Wings. She would like to adopt him. I knew she would give him a wonderful home, and Dania sends his pictures, and it's plain to see he is living the good life. Thanks, Dania. He's a beauty. Oh, how about Montana? We'll do Montana, and then I'll just read a couple from the past area. Montana, his date of birth is February 6, 2012. He arrived here January 29, 2013, and he was adopted May 21, 2013. This dear brown tiger met with a big ugly metal trap. He was a stray outside and got in trouble with that trap. He had his right front leg stuck in it. Someone simply opened the trap and let him go, never even helping him other than letting him out of the trap. Days later, he went up to someone and they saw he was needing help and brought him to FFRC. By now, the leg was a dead leg as the nerves had been severed and could not be repaired. Off to the vets for his surgery, which required a leg amputation. You could tell that he felt so much better when he recovered from the surgery. He was ready to rock and roll. I remember that. He was so quick and ready to just go. Nothing stopped this boy. Life was great, and he thoroughly enjoyed cats, people, and life in general. He always seemed to be a gentle soul. Montana was 11 months old when he arrived and was adopted 4 months after arrival. He went to a phenomenal home in Canada. His mom and dad are Jenny and Brent, and they also adopted Januka, Halo, Spruce, and Abner, all at the same time as Montana. This gives them a wonderful cat family crew. This is the same family then that came back to adopt Snappy. What a wonderful life for them all. And as you all know, they have also come back and adopted Winkin and Joey, our wonderful, awesome Joey. Okay, down you go. I'm going to read just a couple from the past ones. I think one of the ones that, oh, God bless you, that we have learned, I'm trying to find it, that we have learned so much from was Minto. Many of you might remember Minto, the little buff, oh, don't fall, honey, the little buff and white kitten. Now, you know he did pass away, but we learned a lot from him. This orange, short-haired baby just about broke all our hearts. He came in all by himself. Another one of those no siblings, no mama, but he was such a sick baby. His FIV and leukemia tests were negative 2 times for each. But his persistent snuffles became worse and worse. The sad thing is, there were 4 sweet babies that passed away before Minto. Chances are high that because Minto was not in good condition, his immune system allowed him to pick up more germs here. Yes, he broke our hearts, but this little tiny kitten has also saved many, many lives. Minto lost the battle to his illnesses. Our vet suggested a necropsy be done. The particular one we had done was very expensive, but it was covered by a donation. We wanted a detailed result to learn from Minto. The results came back 10 days later. We learned many things. Because of Minto now, every cat here receives a Bordetella vaccine as soon as they are 4 weeks old. This has been a big improvement in keeping the nasty germs away. We also learned that Minto had lots of tapeworms. He did not come in with fleas, which transports the tapeworms, but because of this, we have added a tapeworm medicine into each incoming cat's protocol. No more nasty tapeworms for our kitties and cats here. We also learned from Minto which combination of antibiotics to use for the germs that he had. We have a battle plan now for when our kitties do get sick. He lost his life, though he gave so many lives by what we learned. Minto was a special kitten that gave this rescue center so much. And thank you all for loving him with us. This was a very sad death. He was so cute, and he came in so sick, we just wanted him to live. But as you know, that wasn't to be. But the necropsy taught us so, so much. Oh. Remember Sesame? Oh, how we loved that boy. He was so very handsome. He reminded us of Tonio, part Siamese with big blue eyes. Sesame was a mush of a cat. He was found inside a big semi-truck that was delivering goods to Myers from out of town. They opened the doors, and there he was, Sesame. So they put him in a carrier and brought him to FFRC. The truck had been in many different locations, so they had no idea where he had come from. He was probably 8 or 9 years old. He loved to nuzzle and would suck on your shirts and skin. Yes, he was quite a baby. He was one of the sweetest we've ever had. He so enjoyed being here. And then he hit a snag. He developed a virus, and we couldn't figure out why he got so sick with this. Then we found that he had some heart problems. He had another appointment at the vet's to be checked again, but he passed away before he could get there. We were so sad about this. He went quickly and was held by those who loved him, being rocked in the rocking chair. He only had a short time with us, but I'm glad he was here. He sure enjoyed himself, and we gave him all the time that he wanted to suck on our shirts. I do believe he had us all wrapped around his tail. He was a pretty cool cat. Yeah. You know, and some of these kitties like that come in and we just love them so much, but they just don't always last all that long. We're still very happy that they were here because we got to know them and we were able to do something for them. And above all, to give them love. And that is what it's all about. Yeah. Minto. Oh, I don't have a date on Minto. And Sesame. He arrived here January 20th, 2012. Yeah, thanks, Pants. And, oh, I just saw one. One of my favorite all times. And then I'll read one more, but I want to read Putter's. Putter is a cat that I still have a heavy heart for. He was one of the cats that loved to be held, and he gave the bestest hugs of anybody. He arrived here June 2010, and he passed away May 5th, 2014. One of the most special, loving cats ever. He arrived here in June 2010, and having been on a golf course, hence his name of Putter. To put it mildly, he was one gigantic matted mess. Plus, he appeared to be an older cat. In the process of shaving, we had to remove his entire matted fur. Jackie set the clippers down 3 different times to stop and wondered if he would survive. 3 times she picked up the clippers and started again. When done, he was a very skinny cat, but his beautiful blue eyes were looking right at us as if to say thanks. He found his way into each one of our hearts. For 3 years he lived at the rescue center. We can all picture him sitting there in the middle of the floor with his magnificent coat of fur that grew back in. He was a handsome Himalayan. He would just sit there waiting for the little whippersnapper kitties to walk in front of him so he could whack him or her. That was his job, keeping those youngsters in line. He was so good at this job that he was called Sheriff Putter. Every once in a while, he would get a burst of energy and gallop through the rescue center, and we would all cheer. He was a cat, as they were all, that mattered. He mattered so much to us. He signified what can happen when love is given. A chance to live, a chance to be loved, and a chance to give love. The last year of his life, he discovered the door that opened into the house, a real home, and in he went. He was now a Moss FFRC cat, and he was very happy. But after a while, Putter slowed down. It was clear that the end was near, and that was an extra hard one to take. Because he was our Putter, he was just so extra special. Many of you never physically met him, but still loved him. Remember this, every time you hug a cat, remember that Putter was one of the biggest huggers ever. He knew how to wrap those big paws around the neck and give the love back to us. He was really an awesome boy. And I would like to read one last one. And this is the story of Patience. Patience was another really, really special kitty. She's the calico there. You all know how I feel about Zelda. Patience was the same way. She was the same kind of cat. On July 21, 2002, we had some young kids come for a visit at the rescue center. The girl told me that her parents took their old calico cat that was declawed to the shelter because she had fleas, and she would be put to sleep the next day if no one gave her a home. She was 10 years old at the time. I told her if she could have her family go get her and bring her here, we would take her. We didn't hear back, but the next morning on the doorstep was a crate with an older calico declawed cat complete with fleas. No note of explanation, but obviously was the same cat. So we took her in, fed her, rid her of her fleas, and set her up in a nice pen. On the second day, she looked like she would like to come out, so we opened the door, and that was the last that we saw her for 17 days. Yes, 17 days. She just literally disappeared. We all searched high and low, even went outside. It was like she disappeared into thin air. Volunteers came and looked, day after day after day. No calico cat. We hadn't even named her yet. Our rescue center was due for an overhaul. We were going to do a big change around of everything. We wanted to change rooms around and rearrange. Now the date to do this was still days away, but one day we happened to have extra volunteers here and decided to start the rearranging then, early. I am so grateful we did. In the kitty campus room was a big pen that we wanted here in the main area. It couldn't fit right against the back wall because of how the room was. Bill, Angie, and a couple other friends started to move this pen out, which had a covered bottom on the floor. When Bill says, "Who is this cat?" we all looked and cried. It was our missing calico cat. This truly broke our heart, to think she was there all along and didn't meow for us to help her. Remember, she was declawed and had to have slipped off the back of this pen on the floor and then just stayed under the pen. She couldn't climb back up. Once under there was no way to squeeze out. Did she have food? Maybe a few crumbs, water? I don't know how she could have, but she was found and desperately needed help. She was emaciated and severely dehydrated. We stopped all things to start attending to her. IV fluids were given and tons of holding. I remember sitting on the stool with her wrapped in a blanket. I promised her if she survived, she would never have to leave. We would give her a home forever. And she was given the name right then of Patience. She had patiently waited for us to find her. It was a rough battle, though. For 4 weeks she was tube-fed because she simply would not eat by herself. A consultation with the vets wasn't encouraging. They thought that she would probably not make it, and it was truly beginning to feel that way. It was decided that we would give her a little more time. Then on a wonderful day, one of the volunteers hollered out, "Patience just drank some water." I remember that so well. What joy we felt. A few days later, she started to eat. We were so happy. Patience came to be much needed here at FFRC. She had a special way with the kittens and would bathe any of them that came and laid with her. We kept her in a pen that she stayed in for years. I should clarify, she wasn't kept in the pen. She had a pen that she picked. She would go in it any time that she wanted to, and she always went in there at night. We fed her there. She picked that as hers. It was always called Patience's pen, and actually has Patience's name at the top. She stayed with us for many years before she passed away at the age of 16. She was a beautiful girl and was much loved. Patience has her picture on a magazine when we won the Animal Planet Cat Hero of the Year award. She was on the rocking chair with me. And this pin right here, pin 3, we still have her sign that was on her pin. It says Patience's pin. Well, that's it, folks. Let me grab a drink. Hi, Vicki and Pat.
Hi, Vicki.
We just read one of your kitty stories in here.
did.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
We missed it.
So there's lots and lots and lots more stories in here. But there's CH, residents, Porchies, Covies, adopted, and then some kitties that had passed. And you're welcome to purchase this. As I said in the beginning, they're $25. We have quite a few ready to go. We can get them out to you right away. You can go by PayPal. Just put a note on their message for the 100 stories. Or if you would like to send a check, just put in the memo 100 stories, and we will get these out to you. It's $25. And this is Vicki and Pat. Many of you already know them. They've been long-distance volunteers for a long time, and now they are Defiancens. they live in Defiance. So thank you all. I did this book as my thank you to you all, because I know you all love our kitties, and that means the world to me. It means a lot to me that you all know them, and that you love them, and that you care for them, and that you help us take care of them. And I get the biggest joy, the biggest kick out of it when you folks come and visit, and you walk in and you say, oh, and you can name all these cats, and that just tickles me to no end that you really know them.
This one's D-Man.
D-Man, the Rachel boy.
Did he have a bat?
He did.
Well, there's probably a story back
There is a story behind that. Thank you all. I just think you're all wonderful, and I love you to pieces. Hey, I want to tell you 2 other things, not related to our 100 stories. Today is Saturday. This coming Friday, we're going to have a flash sale. There's some really awesome stuff in it. And the flash sale will be done by Mish and Vern, and with the help of our wonderful moderators. And it will start about 2 o'clock-ish on Friday. So maybe jot that down, and we'll have some fun with that. And then in February, that's coming up, there's going to be kind of a cool event here. It's going to be a fundraiser, but instead of, we will not do a, it won't be like our typical fundraisers where we have 8-10 items. We won't do any of that. This is a very, very special fundraiser. And just keep in mind, just keep your eyes open. That's part of the reason Rachel is wet right now. I'm just giving you little teasers on it. And it's going to be fun. It's just going to be fun. And you folks are going to love it. You're going to laugh and just enjoy it. And we're doing it so that we can all have a fun time together. So this Friday, coming Friday, is the flash sale. And then sometime in February, there's going to be a really fun event coming up. And we wanted to share it all with you. Oh, Sonia, you crack me up. All right. And I have one box I would love to open. I know it's not 5:30, but I have a box I would love to open. Just give me a minute to kind of tidy up here a little bit.
Elsie, baby.
Oh, you, Tiana, are just way too cute. So, you happy to have your kitties?
Hey, Elsie, baby. Brush up, you may have one started.
Donna. You know we love you to pieces, right? I'm not sure if Mudgy is on. Yeah, Mudgy, maybe you could just drop me a note on this one so that I have a memo on it. Isn't he just the sweetest thing? Oh, I just love him. He's so swindly. He's so sweet and friendly.
All of that.
And all of that. This box is from Dottie C. And I have to apologize because we actually had it for a few days, but it got kind of shoved under something and I missed it. So this box says enjoy from our friend Dottie. So today's Saturday. So we had 2 adoptions. I'm sorry, we had 2 adoptions yesterday. We had 1 adoption today, as I'm sure you all know. A Cinder, who was Jasper, got to go to his new home, and he did really well, I guess, on his trip. And gosh, it's a good thing that cat left, because oh my golly, that cat is one of the most lovingest things, and he was easy to love back. But I counted up, we could have had 9 Jaspers and adopted all 9 of them out. So, yeah. Yep, they met halfway. Beth is already home, and the others will be home fairly shortly. And Barbara's very happy. So this is from our friend Dottie. And you know what, Dottie, I have to tell you, this has been tormenting me for a whole week. Oh, it hasn't been here a week. Because the outside of it says Belvita. And you all know I love Belvita crackers. And I kept thinking, is it really Belvita? Is it really? I bet it's not. I bet she just used the box. And guess what? It is Belvitas. It's like a whole case of Belvitas. These are the soft-baked mixed berries. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes of these, Mudgy. And gosh, if you ever want something just to snack on, I have a packet of one of these every single morning while I'm doing my breakfasts. Some of them are the hard crackers. These are the soft ones. Thank you, Dottie. Appreciate it. I was hoping that's what was in here. But I was afraid to guess or hope too much. Thank you, Dottie. Appreciate this. This will be for all of the volunteers. Thank you, MK. I love those blueberry ones too, Jack Cat. The blueberry ones and the cranberry ones, fruit ones, the hard ones. Have you tried those? Oh, those are so good too. Crunch. They make good crunch ones. Yeah. Oh, Sonia, when you come, we gotta make sure you try these. These are the best. You want a little bite? Okay, folks. Well, I'm gonna go out and get my mom's supper. And Megan is here, just in time. Oh, Zelda, it's box time. You're too late, girl. Isn't she really one of the most beautifulest kitties ever?
Employees ever? Yes, thank you.
So I got to tell you real quick though, about Rosemary. Oh, here's a message from Just Me. She says they're in Norwalk. Barb is in the grocery store picking up chicken for Cinder. He just woke up. Sleepy boy. She has about 45 to 50-minute drive home, so they're almost there. Cool. I have to tell you about Rosemary in the house. Endure. Rosemary loves the back of my chair that faces the front, and the birds are there all the time. I've told some of you this already. And she loves to sit on there. She can't get up there by herself. So she comes in, she has the bossiest meow. She'll just go meow, meow, meow at me. And that means I really went on the back of that chair. But there's another chair over by the other side of the house where all the bird feeders are. And I'll ask her, well, where do you want to go? And she either goes to the one chair to get up or the other chair, and that's exactly what she does. I just love it. I love her. And then when I go up the stairs to go upstairs, she comes racing to beat me up there at the top. I have no idea what she finds so fun about doing that, but she does. And then Endure, she's a little tease girl. She'll get down by where the steps are, and if you're going around the corner, she wiggles herself and just zooms out at you or around any corner. I love her. I love her too. And all of them get along so well. I just think they're wonderful. Okay. And you know, another cat that's I just want to be happy is our Giovanna. Just can't quite get across to her yet that she is okay, but we're working on it. Yeah, one of these days she'll come out and she'll play, I hope. So thank you, everybody. Love you all. Have a wonderful evening. Megan's here tonight, and does she have helpers?
Yep.
Yay! Vicki and Pat's gonna help her.
I roped them into it again.
Thank you, Dottie. All right, Zelda, you did good, girl. All right. Aw, isn't that cute how she does that?
You can help, but not on a plate.
Oh, stop. I'll put that there.
Did you do Savant's card?
No, I didn't. I didn't do any cards. Here, we'll do it.
Curious.
Did I get it? I don't have it. I don't have one.
It's not that blue one? Dark blue?
Well, man.
I left it in the mailroom.
Oh, I bet it's still over there.
Maybe you did it yesterday. Did you do boxes yesterday?
I bet it's still there.
I'm getting reports that these kids are going to eat for Oh.
Well, it is Savant's birthday tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yep, we read her story. Do you remember, well, do you realize when she came, she was skinny?
Oh. What happened? My nephews, when I brought them
You
here.
volunteers better.
I've seen that
My
happen.
nephews. My
What's in-
nephews saw her and they said, "Is she pregnant?"
Oh.
I was like, "No, no pregnant cats around here."
No. Will you look for that for me?
Sure.
And stick it in there? In there? Thank you, Pat. All right, you sweet little girl.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go out and take care of my mama.
Okay.
She's probably wondering where I'm at.
Here you are. How's she doing?
She's doing good. She needs food again, probably. Look how good her face
Who
looks
is it?
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
Mary.
She looks so much better.
Yeah, we gave her a mat.
Yeah.
Because she smelled like old food.
No, really?
Put your nose up to her.
Ew.
You do smell like old food. Look at you. You're all perky and everything.
Aww.
And Miss Mary, you hungry? You want some nummies? I'll feed you.
Jackie, she just pretty much eating anything now?
Uh-huh. And she really does, it doesn't have to be laced up with stuff.
Okay. I'll just give her some of this then. Oh.
That's something I'm going to do with the Kobe's if you want to do that.
Sure.
You know, go back out the cold.
Oh.
I'll volunteer.
Did he really say this, or are you volunteering him?
I volunteered you to do the Kobe's because you said so.